Chelsea step up the heat. Improved bid from Maxence Lacroix sparks a new defensive era. As the transfer window moves from rumors to reality, Chelsea's attention is sharpening on one clear mission: upgrading their backline with defensive steel, top-level experience, and a player who can immediately lift the standard of the whole unit. And at the center of the latest buzz is Crystal Palace's Maxence Lacroix, a France international whose game has steadily earned admiration for its blend of control, presence, and composure under pressure. The newest reports suggest Chelsea have improved their offer to secure the defender, with Palace now forced to weigh the temptation of a lucrative deal against the long-term value Lacroix represents within their system. If this move gathers momentum, it will not simply be another name added to Chelsea's recruitment list. It will be a statement, one that points to a club that wants to build not only for the present, but also for the fierce, relentless demands of modern Premier League football, a deal that looks like it's escalating. Chelsea's interest in Lacroix has not appeared overnight. For weeks, the chatter has circulated around the idea that the Blues are searching for a center-back who can handle intensity, manage game states, and defend with authority rather than panic. Now, with the window heating up and rivals constantly testing the market, Chelsea are reportedly pushing harder, with their latest approach described as an upgraded offer designed to move negotiations forward. From Chelsea's perspective, this is the kind of signing that can reduce uncertainty. A defender like Lacroix isn't just a prospect. He's viewed as someone who can deliver real Premier League readiness while also offering tactical flexibility. That matters because Chelsea's rebuild needs leaders at the back, players who can command a shape, organize spacing, and make the defensive line feel secure even when the game turns chaotic. From Palace's angle, Lacroix is not a throwaway asset. He's considered a key part of their development framework, someone who fits the identity of a club that tries to blend smart recruitment with the potential for sustained improvement over time. So when Chelsea come in with a serious bid, Palace aren't simply thinking about money. They're thinking about impact. Can they replace Lacroix properly? Will his departure weaken their structure more than the fee strengthens their planning? That is where the story becomes especially compelling. This deal isn't just about a transfer. It's about whether Chelsea can break into Palace's plans at the right moment with the right price. Why Lacroix fits Chelsea's defensive blueprint. The core appeal of Lacroix for Chelsea appears to be his profile, a center-back who can upgrade a backline rather than merely add depth. Chelsea are seeking defenders who can meet two demanding expectations at once: defensive reliability, the ability to hold shape, defend without rushing, and maintain structure during transitions, and modern football qualities, stepping into the flow of play with composure and being comfortable defending in space while also supporting the wider tactical plan. Reports around the negotiations have repeatedly suggested Chelsea want a defender with Premier League experience or suitability, and Lacroix is widely seen as a player who checks many of those boxes. His presence can bring reassurance to a defense that needs consistency, especially when opponents target the gaps behind lines, when counterattacks happen quickly, and when crosses and second balls start becoming decisive. There's also something else. Chelsea want to build a unit that can survive big spells of pressure. Players who defend well are one thing. Defenders who also calm the team down are something else entirely. In many ways, Lacroix is viewed as the type of center-back who can become the foundation of that calmer, more disciplined defensive rhythm. The youth project versus the experience upgrade. One of the most fascinating subplots here is the argument that this signing represents a shift from trusting purely in youth pipelines and development pathways to bringing in experience that can mature the entire squad faster. Football supporters understand the temptation of a youth project. It's exciting, it's energetic, it's full of possibility, but it also carries an uncomfortable truth. Young squads can struggle when matches swing quickly, when pressure rises, and when the margin for error shrinks. Chelsea's recruitment strategy, as it has been discussed in recent transfer talk, suggests the Blues believe they have the next wave of talent coming through, but they also need the kind of defensive backbone that prevents matches from slipping away in the moments that matter most. That's why the experience upgrade angle is so important. Lacroix isn't being described like a gamble. He's being targeted like a solution. If Chelsea can land him, it would mean strengthening a defense with a player who can grow into the tactical plan while still delivering immediate qualities. Palace's long-term vision still matters. Crystal Palace, for their part, aren't just a selling club that accepts bids and moves on. They're building a squad with identity and development pathways, and Lacroix has been a key part of their recent narrative. There are reports indicating that Palace value him as a pillar of their longer-term project. That doesn't mean they won't sell, but it does mean they won't sell cheaply, and it means they'll demand a price that reflects both his on-field worth and his role within their bigger design. So when Chelsea come in with a serious bid, Palace aren't simply thinking about money, they're thinking about impact. Can they replace Lacroix properly? Will his departure weaken their structure more than the fee strengthens their planning? It number matches the value of a player who is seen as essential to their future development. In a negotiation like this, the fee isn't the only lever. The timing and the structure matter too. How Chelsea present the contract, how they plan to handle negotiations, and whether Palace can see a replacement plan that preserves their defensive balance. It's not simply sell Lacroix, take the money. It's sell Lacroix, but only if the squad doesn't collapse. Chelsea's transfer window message. Chelsea have not been shy about the idea that their recruitment needs to be decisive, especially in defense. Injuries, squad instability, and tactical swings have all contributed to a sense that the team requires a more reliable spine. That's why this pursuit feels like more than a single deal. It feels like Chelsea trying to reassert control over their own identity. If they push through and complete a move for Lacroix, the message would be loud. Chelsea want serious defenders, not only placeholders. They are prepared to make the numbers work to secure quality. They want to turn defensive weakness into defensive certainty quickly. And importantly, this also affects how the rest of the window plays out. A successful center-back signing can shift how Chelsea approach other positions because it reduces chaos and gives the coaching staff a stronger platform. The pressure of the clock. Transfer windows are unique beasts. Deals don't just happen, they materialize under time pressure. As weeks pass, clubs become more flexible. Some move their targets up the list, others reduce demands or change how they view the replacement cost. That dynamic can work for Chelsea if their improved offer reflects a genuine step forward, or it can work against them if Palace believe the right time to hold out hasn't passed yet. However, when the reports say Chelsea have edged the deal forward with a better pitch, that's usually a sign the club believes it can close the gap. The real question now is whether Palace view the updated proposal as enough, or whether they still see it as a negotiation starting point rather than a destination. What happens next? If these talks continue and the fee and terms align, the next phase becomes the part fans care about most, the confirmation stage. But until that moment arrives, every indicator matters. Whether Palace respond quickly with approval signals, whether Chelsea remain consistent in their valuation, whether there's talk of potential player exchanges or squad sweeteners, and whether Palace begin preparing for Lacroix's potential exit. For Chelsea, the ideal outcome is clarity, getting their recruitment done before the window turns into a scramble where everyone is left negotiating in panic. For Palace, the ideal outcome is protecting the project, securing value for Lacroix without dismantling what has been built around him. Why this transfer matters beyond the pitch. Transfers like this also matter because they reflect how clubs see themselves. Chelsea are still searching for the right balance between youth potential and immediate capability. A defensive signing like Lacroix, positioned as both an upgrade and a defensive stabilizer, represents a blend of those philosophies. It's not merely a buy-now move, it's a tactical investment in structure, mentality, and match readiness. At the same time, Palace's approach matters because it shows what their club model truly values. If they can hold the line and still find a solution that fits their long-term vision, they preserve credibility in the market. That's why this story has caught the imagination of supporters on both sides. It's not just a transfer rumor, it's a collision of ambitions. Final verdict, a deal that could define Chelsea's backline. As the transfer window pushes deeper into its most urgent phase, Chelsea's reported improvement for Maxence Lacroix feels like the kind of step that changes the temperature of an entire negotiation. Lacroix is being presented as a defender capable of strengthening Chelsea's backline immediately, while also aligning with a plan to bring experience into a squad that wants to compete with consistency. Palace, meanwhile, still have to decide whether Chelsea's improved bid matches the value of a player who is seen as essential to their long-term development.
If Chelsea can get this over the line, it could be one of those signings that doesn't just look good on paper, it reshapes how the team plays from week to week, how confident the defenders feel, and how threatening Chelsea become when pressing higher and defending tighter. And right now, with the window heating up, that is exactly what every club wants to believe, that the next big move will make the difference between surviving the season and actually dominating it.